Hey everybody, it's Mark Yagi. Hope you're doing well. What is jojoba? Like I keep hearing about this stuff that you're supposed to put in your hair, but I don't really know what jojoba is. If you know, tell me what it is in the comments. But everybody's like, "Oh, this shampoo's got jojoba in it or whatever, jojoba." I don't know what it is. Anyway, hope you're having a great week. It's a yellow market, so that means things are starting to show a little bit of signs of wear on the uptrend, and you should be a little bit more cautious. Just had a couple of great discussions in my mastermind groups, and it's a lot of fun when we're all making money and talking about different things. But I kind of want to show you what we're talking about, at least partially, so that we can kind of get an idea. So let me pull up my screen here. It's taken forever. Here we go. All right. So you can see this week we've got two red lights, two green lights, so that we are now yellow, which means don't be buying any more positions until the market gives you a trend one way or the other. There's usually a transitionary period. And the odds don't favor you buying or selling right now. They basically favor you weeding your garden and doing smart things during this period of time because we've had a very long uptrend. Look at this uptrend. We went green back in April, late April. We're almost at the end of July. So we're almost 3 months into this long green market. And these markets tend to revert and go back to the mean. So I don't, I think this is going to do the same thing. I don't know when. I just know we're yellow. So that means be cautious. Okay. That said, we've got some indexes that are hitting all-time highs this week. So here we got an all-time high here in the QQQ. This looks exactly the same, all-time high in the S&P 500. The Dow Jones not so much, couldn't hold that all-time high, which makes it a little bit weaker here. And then we've got the New York Stock Exchange looking pretty much the same, did hit a new high, but it couldn't hold it. The volatility index is showing that things are down, so people are not as panicky going into the market. So that's kind of good. So we got, pretty good story. It's not as mixed as I said in yellow, but my market indicators have been treating me well for 15 years, and I'm going to keep them. So let's take a look at some of the widely held ones. I've been talking about how Tesla's kind of in this consolidation over the last couple of months, and certainly between 367, 357, 278, there's a 100-point consolidation where it goes up and down, not giving you a trend one way or the other. And they got earnings coming up in a few days, so you got to be really careful going into earnings because Tesla has this thing where they miss selling one car that's expected, and all of a sudden the stock drops 40 points. So you got to be very careful with Tesla. Please protect yourself by selling in the money calls. That will at least protect you on the downside. There's some weeks where you don't need to really kill it and make a bunch of money. You can protect yourself, and sometimes not making money is, sometimes not losing money is making money. I guess that's the saying. Here's Apple. Apple is in a consolidation as well. It's just in a worse position because it had all these sellers driving it down to 168, 169, a few months ago, and now it's trying to recover from all those sellers. It's not doing a great job, but it is at least up off the lows. Nvidia is in a breakout. This is the breakout level here where I've drawn that red line, and you can see that it's breaking above that red line with a couple of gaps. And it's an early stage base. So there's a lot of room to run on NVIDIA, especially now that we got rid of all these weak holders, these guys that couldn't hang in there for this couple of months. And now people like, that are over here on this side are taking advantage of that. Palantir is in a late stage base. It's breaking out, but it's not breaking out very strongly. And so this one has a potential to correct pretty quickly if it needs to. And that's got earnings coming out in a couple of weeks, so you got to be careful. AMD is following along with NVIDIA. MicroStrategy is in trying to break out a little bit, but it's having faltering. It's faltering this week, just a little bit, where it went up, $46 over the last couple of weeks, and today it's down a lot. So this is not a good looking candle. We'll see how the volume shakes out at the end of the day. But MicroStrategy, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think it needs to go back and test that 430 level on the breakout and see how it performs on the other side. But there's some profit takers going on. Robinhood is basically all-time high with a little gap up. And then we got Hims and Hers, which had a fundamental problem. And you see, guys, when there's a fundamental problem in a stock, like there was here on this day where it dropped, 40, 20, what did it drop? 25 points, huge amounts of percentage. It takes a long time for this fear to come back in and get wiped out. So what I'm saying is, let's say you're one of these people that sold here. Well, you put your money somewhere else now. And so are they going to be able to convince you to put your money back into this stock? Probably not. So all those people that liked the stock on the way up are out of it, or those people that rode the stock or maybe rode it back down are annoyed with it. And so it takes a long time to rebuild trust on a stock. So I don't suspect that HIMS, even though it has a good fundamental business, is going to be doing that well from a stock perspective for a while. So I hope you don't have that one. Broadcom is just doing what all the other chip stocks are doing. Alphabet is kind of, I think it's kind of a laggard. It's kind of weak. You know, I think people are going to advertise less on Google, and Google's trying to make up for it by building some incredible AI tools. I just don't know how they're going to monetize it that well compared to their search engine. So I think they might have jumped the shark here, if you know what I'm talking about. Meta Platforms wants to come back and test that 50-day moving average, maybe even come back and test that 678. It might be like the same spot by the time it gets there, but there's a big gap out here on the chart at about 610. So you got to watch that gap. It might want to come back and fill that one. Microsoft just keeps melting up, keeps melting up. Had a beautiful breakaway gap on earnings, and it hasn't looked back since. Went from 400 to 500 in just a matter of a couple of months. Uh, One more? What do you think? No, we'll leave it there. The market is yellow, and you have to respect the market, and you have to know what jojoba is. All right, if you're still here, that's a little inside joke for you. Anyway, listen, I am having a free webinar next Wednesday, Wednesday, the 23rd of July, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It's called the Juice Lever Strategy. It's the next evolution of trading. It's a fun little thing that I'm going to be talking about, this new strategy that I've got. It's not new, but it's new for you maybe. And so if you want to come and find out what it's all about, I've got a few juice lever trades on the channel that are working really well. They kind of protect the upside and the downside. Love to see you on the webinar. It's free, so just show up on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Mark your calendar now. There's a link somewhere, either at the bottom of this or a link on this channel somewhere. Also, I am having an event that is, we're getting an incredible amount of people coming. We haven't sold it out yet, but the hotel rooms are going quickly. So if you want to come to the event, we are having this really cool 3-day event in Florida in September. And if you know about Florida in September, it's the best time to be there. And it's going to be on the beach, on Clearwater Beach, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Love to meet you there. Love to see you there. We're going to be talking about all things income investing. Plus, we're going to be talking about a few other cool things too on the beach. And if you can be there, I'd love to meet you in person. There's a link down at the bottom for that. If you want the hotel room, don't go to the hotel room and try to register. We have a discounted block of rooms still available because the hotel is showing that they're sold out. So you need to go through us to get the rooms, and you need to be registered before you can get the link. So hope to see you there. If you're interested in either one of those two things, there's links and information down below. If not, peace out. Have a great weekend. See you next time. Bye.